All right.
How's it going?
All right.
It's going all
Did
right.
you celebrate National Siblings Day?
Nope.
Yesterday was National Siblings Day.
I celebrated by yelling at all of my siblings.
That's not what you didn't do that at all.
I did do that. I did.
I didn't know it was National Sibling Day till like 11 o'clock last night on the Facebook, and I saw people posting pictures of siblings.
It's just an excuse to have a reason to post pictures.
Look
Use a
at
hashtag.
jaded lump in there.
Wow.
You're far too young to be jaded and cynical like that.
You're right.
Like,
But you shouldn't really realize that till down 10, 15 years down the road.
It's like National Puppy Day. What?
And apparently there was
It's
a
not a
National
holiday.
Beer Day last week too that I missed.
I think it's all a Facebook hoax.
To be fair, though, I mean, that's your first take on everything. On the show today at 7 o'clock, we'll talk with Rudy Takala about the Panama Papers scandal. At 7:30, State Representative Jason Orerick, who I will be meeting for the first time on this show. He's got a bill to legalize some fireworks. Then Andrew's mandatory list at 8. And State Representative Tim Sanders, too lazy to come in, joining us over the phone to talk about his bill to legalize fantasy sports.
Yeah.
Which I thought they were.
Well, there's different types of fantasy sports. There's
Like the fantasy sports to the death.
Right.
yes.
Well, I'm not sure his bill.
It's in an arena.
Yeah, I don't know if his bill covers
Loser dies.
that. You're weird and dangerous.
There's the traditional fantasy sports where you join a league with some friends and everybody maybe chips in $20, $30, whatever you decide on. You draft your teams and you play those players throughout the season, accumulate points and so on, and the winner wins the money. That's the traditional model of fantasy sports. And yes, that is technically legal. Then there's this new kind of fantasy sports, these daily
To the death.
leagues like DraftKings and I forget the name of the other one, where you put in money, you draft a team for each day, and you can win money on a day-to-day basis. That type of fantasy sports is considered more to be like gambling. Because you're not playing against like friends per se, where everybody's pitching in a little bit. You're playing against quote unquote the house, which is the website.
It's not a private social bet at that point.
Correct.
It's gambling.
It's pretty much gambling, and people treat it the same way they treat like the stock market. I mean, people track and follow these things, these players, as if they were stocks. And there's algorithms and there's all sorts of programs you can install to run to try to figure out, the best lineup for any given sport on any given day, considering weather conditions and all these other factors. You can take it real seriously, and people are losing, thousands and thousands of dollars on these sites. Some people are, of course, winning, but for the most part, the sites are making millions and millions of dollars off of these players. So that's the fantasy sports that has raised a lot of questions and is technically illegal.
Sure. All right. We'll get into that with Representative Sanders at around 8:30, 8:35. Lump, you had a big weekend?
I did. I had a busy and stressful weekend.
Just tell the listener what you did last night.
I competed in a semifinal pageant for the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders.
And drum roll, please. How'd you do?
I did.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did you make the cut?
They did not make any cuts yet.
So there wasn't this isn't a pageant where like at the end they declared a winner.
No.
And you got a tiara
No.
and a wand.
The closest thing that they
Don't
did
they get
was...
wands?
I don't think you know what pageants are
I
like.
think they get
You're
wands at the
thinking
end.
of wizards.
I wish that they gave me
You get a
wands.
wand and a robe. What did the sorting hat tell you?
So
I don't think
you
you
competed
understand.
last night in some type of
Gryffindor.
pageant, some Harry Potter cheerleader pageant for the
Yeah.
Minnesota Vikings, and they didn't announce a winners,
No.
or at least a few losers.
No, the closest thing that they did was they did announce based upon like physical fitness level or whatever scoring system they have. They announced their top 10 finalists.
It was hot or not. You competed in hot or not last night.
Top 10 finalists
Congratulations.
for the cover model for the calendar.
Were you hot or not enough for that?
No, it was
No.
it was all veterans from the team, and there was one rookie, but all veterans. for
Lump
most
the
part.
troll girl.
Thanks.
I was going to because I feel that these things are like everything is scored, even if they're not telling you that.
Yeah.
I was going to buy a ticket, tell them I was buying the ticket for Team Lump,
Yay.
but then not go because I wouldn't want to creep you out because I'd be there for creeping. But I drove to Wisconsin on Saturday night, got pulled over at 12:30, and that fine state $250. So
no.
by Sunday, I was not in a position to be just
Right.
throwing cash around
Yeah.
to make
Speeding?
workers
fair.
happy. Yeah.
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 How fast were you going?
55
Liar.
$250?
in a 30. Yeah, don't speed in Wisconsin. They do not mess around. And here's the
don't
thing.
mess
It
Yeah,
was
that's the only ticket I've gotten in the last several years has been driving through Wisconsin.
It's 12:30 at night, and it's not like I got nabbed while in the middle of nowhere racing in between the small towns.
Yeah.
Nobody's on the road, so let's go fast. No. I was leaving Siren, Wisconsin.
That's not a real place.
No, it's a real place. I've been there.
Neither is Florida.
And it was
And I've been there.
the leaving of a small town where 10 years ago the speed limit was 55. And I would have driven the speed on a Sunday afternoon with my kids in the car. I was so angry. Not dangerous. But I broke the rules, so I will pay them their money.
Did you cry?
No, it doesn't work for
You
dudes.
should have tried it.
Yeah. No.
I recommended that to you the other day
I've never
when you
cried.
got pulled over.
What are you talking about? I've never been pulled over.
we still not allowed to talk about that?
I've never been pulled over.
That's still a secret.
You're a liar.
Did you pay that ticket you didn't get?
Why would I pay something I didn't get?
Mythical. So, yeah, I couldn't support you because I drove too fast. Long story
I
short.
forgive you.
When
I didn't support you because I forgot. That's my reason.
Thanks, Andrew.
It's the only thing that's been on my radar. At all.
Jack's
I didn't
been like,
remember until I saw a post from your mom on Facebook.
Jack's pretty much been my best friend ever since he found out I was in the
Right.
final process.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Can I
Yeah.
come with you? Can I
Yeah.
come with you? I want to be there for support.
Like chaperone, the worst chaperone ever.
Can you introduce me to the rest of them?
Yeah, of course. As the chaperone, that would be part of the job.
It was weird though because the entire night there was security for us at every checkpoint, every doorway, and everying. It was very well
To
secured.
keep out the jacks of the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that cop in Wisconsin was a plant.
He tried to stop you from coming.
They knew your plan.
Andrew, you went all in for Africa on Saturday. How'd that go?
It was a lot of fun. Great poker tournament. Kudos to Steve Fredlin and everybody that in Canterbury and everybody that was involved in putting that poker tournament together. I think they ended up with like 160 buy-ins, 130 something players, but every player could buy in more than once if they wanted.
I saw on Facebook you were seated next to talk radio listener NASCAR Kelly.
We by chance we ended up getting sat next to each other, which was real nice. Nice to have a friendly face at the table.
Was she also a celebrity player?
She was
Is that
not.
where you are?
She was
Host
not
of talk radio,
listener.
just like a listener.
Right. No, she was not a celebrity bounty, so to speak, but there were a lot. I mean, there were about 40 players, at least 40 players that had bounties on them.
Do we know who won the Up and Atom experience, or is this like the Minnesota Vikings cheerleader pageant where we don't know who the winner was?
I know who I lost it to, but I don't know their name or anything. I'm sure I'll get that information when they contact us. But yeah, it was a player at my first table ended up taking me out. The way it works is you have a stack of chips, and when you lose that initial stack, that's when you lose your bounty. But you can still rebuy more chips. So I lost those chips fairly early. I rebought some more chips. Ended up running pretty deep. Out of 160 something buy-ins, I went out 30th.
Okay.
So it was a good night. It was a really fun night, really interesting night because, I mean, you're seated at the table with some professional poker players, some very good poker players, and it was definitely a level above the games that I'm used to playing.
Sure.
And the crowds that I'm used to playing.
You
with.
go fish.
That didn't work.
Did anybody wear sunglasses? Because I think
Yes.
that's cheating.
Yes, there were several players with sunglasses on.
Did you point at them and say cheater?
No,
the
I did
entire
not.
time?
No, I did not. In fact, I gave a lot of them my chips. Is pretty much what happened. Yeah. But it was a really fun night, really interesting. I think I played for about 5 hours.
Wow.
before I busted out at 30th. And the tournament didn't wrap up till close to 2 in the morning.
Wow.
It was a long tournament.
Yikes.
I was following the updates on Twitter and Facebook throughout the night and finally checked in the next morning. And it was around like 1:32 in the morning when they tweeted out that this guy had won. So,
All right. So everybody lost money this weekend.
they raised over $15,000 to, I think, close to $20,000
Wow.
for the Against Malaria Foundation. So it was a really successful night and really cool to see so many, big players in the Minnesota poker community sort of come together and support this cause. He's going to do it. I think he's going to plan on doing it twice a year. So I'm already looking forward to the next one.
Neat. All right. What's at the top of the news bag for when we return?
There was a prank call in Coon Rapids that has
Oh,
gone
my God.
national, that has made national news. I'll tell you all about that, plus a bunch more stuff. Ted Cruz had a big weekend in the presidential primary, all that and more.
Coon Rapids.